The following program is rated TV MALV. It contains strong language, violence, and nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences.
How many Taco Bell stackers can we eat?
I think I'm going to go for 12 this time.
I think I could do about 15.
I think I could do about 23, just to make it even. Got the Taco Bell stackers in this bag. It's heavy, too. It almost ripped. Just finished my 15th one. This is my last one. I don't think I can make it past 30. Nachos for a little break.
Slowing down back there?
Yep, I got you. After 17 stackers and 5 burritos. All right, my goal was what, 23? I got 30, so I think that's an accomplishment.
Mine was 12. I got 14 stackers down, 3 quesadillas, and 10 tacos.
Wow.
My goal was 15 stackers, and I had 17 stackers.
Take the
Support TDB, this is episode 48. Today is May 13th, 2026. Man, we got a decent amount of stories to talk about today. First and foremost, I just watched The Punisher and the Kevin Hart roast today, so we're gonna go through that. And Kevin Hart, is a lot of controversy with the Kevin Hart situation, the roast. I'll talk about that a little later on. We got some drumming and nerd spear when it comes to Sean Head and Hasan Piker. I mean, they going back and forth on it's a little bit more political, but they in the game spirit too. Then Anita Sarkeesian is back in the news, and we'll talk about that. And the Punisher, like I think I talked about the Punisher. So yeah, the Punishers will be I'll talk about that and do a review on that. Anyway, this just dropped this afternoon. Netflix bringing back a different world. So all right. Share this. So Kadeem Harrison, Jasmine Guy, and Cree Summers will be reprising their roles. I guess they're gonna be like all right, follow Dwayne Whitley's daughter as she enters her freshman year in Hillman College this fall. So yeah, that just dropped. It's gonna be out. I wonder how this gonna be. I wonder if I wonder if Bill's still gonna have any involvement. I mean, he's pretty old and everything. I don't know if they're gonna allow that to happen anyway, just because of the controversy. But yeah, that news just dropped this afternoon. So before I get on the Punisher and Kevin Hart stuff, I'm gonna show some good news, man. I mean, this popped up on my timeline on X. So this young man, he won about $1.25 million, about $1.3 million at the casino. Let's see how this went down.
There's Cloud 9, and then there's like Cloud fucking 20, man. You just say we out the hood? Yeah. He said, where he say out of? We out the hood. How much he win? $1,370,000.
Cash out. Yeah, that's me. You cash out. I love seeing young brother make it, man. And man, look, don't go back to that casino. They don't try to take all that money back. Leave that. Hey, look, you don't go back to that casino ever unless they give you free money to do it. But yeah. All right, let's talk about Punisher. This came out last night. Punisher One Last Kill. So this I want to say this is placed right before Born Again, not Born Again, but right before the new Spider-Man and right after Born Again. So this a little it's like a little special. It's not even, it's like a 48 minute special. And John Berthal apparently wrote this. And it was pretty good. Like the action was pretty good. And like it was brutal. It was just too short, man. I wish this would have been like a 2-hour movie, and we would have got like the the whole thing. Like we could have known a little bit about what was going on in the city. Where was this at? What's up, Judge Jay? But like it was, hey, if y'all just want to see a good old fashioned action 48-minute spectacle, yeah, I highly suggest it. It was just too short, man. And like this might be the most comic accurate, just one off Disney Plus got. So man, like it was quick. There's nothing really more to talk about it. Like it was only 48 minutes, and like some of that action scene was like badass to me. Like some people didn't like it, but oh, let's go. Let's go. Appreciate it. So I mean, that's all I got on that. That was that's a quick. That's a like. There's not really that much to go. It's an action film, but like I highly suggest it. All right, the Kevin Hart thing. I'm not gonna show it because they will. Yeah, they will. Flag that. Netflix will. So this Kevin Hart rose, man. Man, I was at work laughing my ass off. See, I want to tell you a little bit something about me. I love dark humor. And honest God truth, I think they need to do this to bring comedy back. Like comedy has been in a real bad space for, I want to say, like Chappelle did a lot for it. Shane Gillis, man, like he's sneaky funny. Man, he had one joke. I'll tell you this one joke. He was saying, see, it's a little racist. I give it. It's a little racist, but it was cool because everybody was in on it on a bit. So because like the white dudes, they did a little black jokes here and there. Tony Hitchcock did some crazy jokes, man. And Kill Tony, man, that podcast, like he getting some flack today, but that podcast hilarious. And like, I mean, he took it on the chin. Like Lizzo was funny. And I like this because like this is if the stars acted this way, and I'm bearing the lead right now, but if the actors just act this way regularly without all the people having people on pins and needles and stuff, you gotta check because like they were making fun of gender identity. They were making fun of LGBT jokes left and right. And it was some people that was in that community up there going along with it, and everything. But like, and I don't like it was just hilarious. Like, man, like the black jokes, like, cause like hey, it remind me of like if you grew up in a kind of mixed area for a long period of time. Yeah, like racial jokes was a part of the like, especially with guys, it was part of the thing. See, and what it was like Chelsea Handler, Chelsea Handler, she handled her own, and like I even laughed at some of her jokes, like she was giving it back, like everybody was roasting each other, man. It was a good fun time, Like I say this one Shane Gillis joke. He said told Kevin Hart, he's like He was like, if you was hang out with your black friends, you'll be like a period in the sentence. I know it's racist as hell, but man, it was hilarious. It was a good joke. That shit was so funny. That might have been his best one on there. Of course, Cat Williams came up, and Cat Williams, like, he went in on Kevin, especially with the Diddy parties and everything. And like they've been having a long feud, but like that's even good because like that's what I think they did more to, like, in my opinion, as just a fan of comedy, they did more to bridge the gap than separate. And it's sad, man, because like people are steadily trying to separate. Like Reddit is going crazy. Like, what is that? They are being insensitive. And I'm like, I'm tired of Tumblr and Reddit. I'm just tired of them motherfuckers, man. I keep it a bug, man. Reddit used to be a cool little place. Like, I remember when the GameStop thing was going on. That was a cool little situation to be a part of, man. Especially if you got in on it. But like, damn, dude, man, like Reddit, especially in the gaming sector, we don't talk about that a little later on, but like a lot of these little movements, and then you can't have a girl in a bikini on a game, and ooh, look, they can't, all this little whiny bullshit, man. And of course, it's good subreddits out there and everything. Don't get me wrong, but some of that stuff, man, like even like on the gaming front, right? And this is going a little esoteric, but like PC gaming, that's my line of expertise or whatever. That will always be somebody that's griping because they can't play this certain game in their system. This whiny bullshit, man. It gets tiresome, but like comedy need to come back. Because I mean, think about it. We used to get comedy movies, and that cut the tension out the air. Even if like the comedian was like uber left, right? If they were good with a comedian, like Chris Rock he's very left, far left as it be, but like he was funny, and it works. Like, I think everybody just got a fucking stick up their ass right now. Oh, hold on real quick. Sorry about that. But I had a cough. But like, yeah, man, like everybody just got to stick up their ass right now, man. It's making a whole scene, making a whole culture that's whack. Like I was talking about, it used to be things that unify us. Like comedy used to be a unifying force, right? Like I remember seeing, like, talking about when Martin You So Crazy come out, and like showing my white friends that tape, or like Def Coming to Jam. Like me and my, like, I had like I said, I had a mixed crowd, and I used to watch Def Coming to Jams with my white friends. It'd be my cousin and my other people around there, but I want them to kind of see how comedy is, because like they knew about Richard Pryor and everything, but and they had, ironically enough, they had Richard Pryor albums. Like they used to have Richard Pryor albums. That he was, like I said, a unifying force, right? And like I mean, I introduced them to Martin. I introduced them to we used to watch Eddie Murphy, like the what's it? Not Dangerous. Oh, which one was the red? I mean, we watched all that stuff. Like we used to watch the comedy movies, like Coming to America, Harlem Nights, and of course, like the Beverly Hill Cops and everything like that. Like it's a good place when everybody could joke and everything. Like, yeah, I mean, we watched Beavis and Butthead and everything, and like everybody, especially in the 90s, everybody got it. Now it was some cases where, like Harold Stern, how he did Old Girl that was mixed, saying she was ugly. So it was a little off color jokes like that every now and then. But like, we worked through that, and we laugh like, oh man, that was bad. That's cringe. But hey, let's see where you go there. Like Roseanne too, man. Roseanne used to be hilarious. Like I still say she one of the funniest women comics of all time. Yeah, Whoopi back in the gap was funny as fuck. Man, some of the old like one night. That's ironic. The HBO one night stand Whoopi specials, man. That shit used to be. She used to just say whatever. It's just crazy how everybody is now, man. And partially, it's like this, man. The party poopers. And this gonna go into it's gonna go into some of the gaming stuff. It's something with these middle-aged women who not getting the attention anymore, messing up things for like younger community, younger audiences and stuff, man. Because I mean, I want to say it kind of started for me that I started noticing that phenomenon was during the mid 90s when they changed Saturday morning cartoons and Tipper Gore and all that stuff. That it's funny. We were talking about Al Gore the other day because of the climate change thing. But yeah. But like this isn't it says it's this need to like police what people see and police what people think is funny and everything, right? Because like right now, unless you want racism to be a big part of your life, there's way more things uniting our races when it comes to comedy and this and that than the divide right now. Because like, if you put Richard Pryor in front of 90% of people, just regular Joes out here working at one, they're gonna laugh at it. There's gonna be some funny jokes in there. You put them in front of like, you know, like the old Chris Rock specials, the old Dave Chappelle specials, the old even like some of Seinfeld, Martin, I like some of the TV shows. That's why like if you go look at streaming, a lot your biggest streaming shows tend to be the nostalgia, like Friends, Martin, Everybody Loves Raymond, like stuff like that. They get real into that because like there was it was just lighthearted, it was fun. And this go, like I said, it's just not in comedy. Comedy was I believe comedy was the first casualty to wokeness. And what I mean by wokeness, I'm not talking about the wokeness that, you know, the third eye type of time and everything like that was, you know, the pro-black side of the game, right? Because that's what's originally for, like, hey, just being aware of what you're doing, what you're eating, socially aware, whatever. That's one thing. But the wokeness that you are socially aware, so now you gotta dictate to everybody your politics, everybody your identity, if it's a gender, racial, any you know, political, anything like that, right? And it used to be the people that lean with the identity stuff. There was like they got ignored. Like think about Do the Right Thing, right? Oh, I forgot that dude's name. The one that was always socially aware and stuff. He got ignored, and then everything went up in flames when people started being so super aware of stuff. Which there's a place to be aware. Don't get me wrong. You got to be aware of your, you know, self-awareness is key just for a good you know, fortune of life or whatever, right? But there's a time and place. Not everything has to be spoken and talked about. And sometimes people just need to have fun. Like sometimes, like we don't need to talk politics during a fucking football game. You know what I mean? That's the time and place for that. There's times that you need to talk politics, especially in your local scene, and you want to make sure things are on the up and up when it comes to like holding the you know, politician in power accountable to the people and whatever. That's one thing. But I just want, if a motherfucker just want to play fucking Call of Duty like a World War II game without being lectured, or you know, because we've been taught how some of the things went down, not necessarily like photorealism and all that stuff. Like, hey, your tummy gun get jammed, what you doing, all that stuff. We ain't talking about that. Just as in the pretty much the mind frame of how certain battles and certain things went down. Not necessarily the whole super realism. That gets in a whole different discussion. But like, there's sometimes we can learn things when we enjoying it for what it is. And I think we went so far into scrutinizing everything. Comedy took a backseat. Comedy got so damaged, right? The Marvel movies end up becoming part of the comedy scene just because like there wasn't any big budgeted comedy movies coming out. Like because if you do comedy like this roast, right, for example, they went way past the envelope on a lot of stuff. You had white jokes, black jokes, Hispanic jokes, LGBT, whatever, all the alphabet community jokes. You had everything was on the table to go at. You know, you had 9/11 jokes. Pete Davidson was there. I mean, you had everything. It was just a fun time, and I'm surprised they did that in LA because like at first Shane Gillis wasn't getting a lot of love. But then they kind of loosened up because like it was one of those things where they didn't like the crowd really didn't know if it was okay to laugh at it or not, right? Then they kind of like loosened up. I don't know if the alcohol started flowing. It was like over 2 hour roast. Tom Brady was saying a lot. He came in, he said a lot of shit. It just to me, I think it was needed. So I'm gonna show this, but I'm gonna put the overlay because they be flagging. So this is Sharon Underwood, and this is her stance on everything. Yeah, I could.
So Cheryl Underwood spoke to TMZ yesterday because there's been a big conversation about some of the jokes that were thrown her way about her husband's passing, his suicide, and then also some of the words that were used.
Yeah, you even had those jokes, man. Like everybody went in. And hey, here's the thing. Here's the cool thing about it. They all like approved the jokes, so nobody was getting offended on the stage, on the dais, and whatever. Nobody was getting offended. It was all written out. They all like approved it. There was nothing. Oh yeah, another one was what's not me alone. Regina Hall was hilarious. Regina Hall was hilarious, and it was fine. God damn, Regina Hall was fine. I ain't gonna lie, man. I hate sound like I'm lost, but she was fine. Man, I want to watch it just for her to say it again. For real, let's read.
Who's on stage? The Rock using the R word in specifically.
True roast comedy is not for mainstream domain. You're talking about Netflix, and I know people don't agree, but what I thought was good about what The Rock did, everybody was questioning his blackness, and he really made the connection. It's a way for us to talk about the issues with humor and come to some common ground.
I agree 1,000,000%. God damn, people, man. Why I need to be so fucking, oh my God, so, oh, man, yeah, I 100% agree with that. And like I said, it was a, I didn't finish Rock's set because I had to charge my
years
phone
ago.
Up, but like he was going in too. Like he basically flirted with Rock's wife and everything. He was not Rock, but Kevin Hart's wife. Kevin Hart like, what you doing? like it was funny, but it was all in jest. I hope he don't do nothing. I mean, to do no dirt like that, but I doubt it happened. They cool.
You could.
And I didn't know this. Draymond Green wife and Kevin Hart's wife are cousins, so they actually cousins now. So that was fun. That was a fun tidbit. Let's read.
Couldn't say M word for little people. Couldn't say R word for the disabled. Sometimes politically correctness does not fit in comedy.
Hey, I didn't listen to The Rock speech and say to myself, you know what? That makes me think he's more black. I listened to The Rock speech and I thought to myself, hey, that's The Rock. Y'all must not remember how wild WWE used to be.
I said that. I didn't watch a lot of him on WWE.
That was The Rock. The Rock. Yes. That's how The Rock. That's The Rock.
I agree, Charlamagne. Hey, I agree with that. Now that was The Rock.
No.
Yeah. And I don't know why a lot of people was mad at, well, I do know why a lot of people were mad at Cheryl Underwood's like back-to-back jokes about her husband, but she approved all of that. Like, like Shane and all of them, like they asked her if it was okay for them to do those jokes. And they had been testing them out the whole week.
Everybody was approving everything. So and Kevin Hart was like, look, let's just go past the boundaries that they put upon us, man. Let's go for it. Let's shit. Hey, and it worked, man. Like, god damn, people just need to let fucking grab whatever your genitalia is and just say, look, hey, I'm grown. God damn, just quit whining all goddamn time for real. Let's read.
You know what I mean? So I do think Tony Hinchcliffe, although his issue was racist, it was funny to me. Like if you make something funny, it don't matter how offending it is. Like,
and that's my point. Like, racist. Some racist jokes be funny, like because like we've been so uptight. Motherfuckers been so uptight ever since fucking 2020. Really, I'll take that back. Ever since Trump got in there, everybody been so fucking uptight. God damn, and like I said, Kill Tony is hilarious. If y'all want to cancel, y'all want to cancel him and all that. Ooh, and look, George Floyd family. Look, y'all. Look, I understand. You know, your people gone and stuff. And it's sad. That situation was all sad, all across the board. Like, you know, all that. I ain't want to go into it, but okay, your dude's he's pretty much part of pop culture because of the tragedy and everything. It's time to I mean, look, people joke about 9/11, and in that event. And at one point, we used to joke about what Rodney King, but Rodney King is he's still alive. That's some chick still alive. Don't quote me on that. But like even the OJ thing, people joked about that and everything. Like, I mean, it's unfortunate that they kind of pushing the envelope and your loved one was a part of it. But again, like it's jokes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you don't have to get offended by every joke. Now, if you was in a crowd and they just point you out and it was on some harassment shit, that's one thing. But hey, I mean, that was a high profile situation. It's like they had January 6th jokes, and it was people that actually died. It was a lady that actually the baby. She actually died in that, and they made jokes about that, right? Like, I mean, if you become here's the thing, if you become a public figure. Like me right now, I got my camera on everything. If somebody make a joke on me, I just have to take it on the chin. Like I've been joke with all my life. You know, some probably like, oh, look at him, he's still stuttering, he's still this, and so it's just a part of it, man. Let's read.
If it's funny, it's comedy. It works.
Let's take a listen to the Tony Hinchcliffe joke that he did on the stage that got people upset. Let's take a listen.
He got into a fist fight on a private plane. Proof that no matter how much money black people have, they're still just gonna act like ninjas. It's fighting. Like Bill Cosby, Hart is a black comedian from Philadelphia. And like Bill Cosby, women don't know when Kevin is inside of them. You've done good though, Kevin. The black community is so proud of you right now. George Floyd is looking up at us all, laughing so hard that he can't breathe.
I didn't think that was funny. Yeah, I personally, and this is my personal opinion, I think jokes about people dying, violent, tragic deaths should be off limits.
But here's the thing. Look, Charlamagne, I get what you're saying, but they up there making 9/11 jokes. Like, I mean, it's some people that if you hear some of the soldiers, they'll joke about. I mean, it's called gallows humor. But the thing is, if Tony Hinchcliffe was what makes it offensive? If I was a family member, I understand why they're offended because like he's gone, he's this, he's that, right? And it was a divisive situation and everything. I get that part. What I'm saying is like a roast, that's really nothing's off limits in a roast. Like I'm talking about roast in that nature. It's nothing off limits. It just gotta be one of them things where you gotta understand he's a public figure, and not everybody's gonna look at your family and look at your. I mean, they're not gonna look at them the same way you look at them. Which is, and the thing is, Tony Hinchcliffe can't apologize because it kind of kills. I mean, you can't apologize for a joke, really. Do I think Tony Hitchcock hates that family or something? Nah, I just think they telling jokes. They comedians. They actually do it for a living. Unlike just people doing it on YouTube and just saying some dark shit, just to be saying it. But yeah, I mean, it's a fine line.
George Floyd died at the hands of the police because of systemic racism. I don't see the funny in it.
Yeah, I didn't see funny in that
Yeah,
either.
yeah. No, he was going and going and going, and he never came up for air. I thought he was funny until the last two. Now those jokes, like whole room quiet. I don't know if they edited laughs in there.
Yeah.
But the whole room was quiet.
People were uncomfortable.
Man, what? Everybody, white people, black people, everybody, like was very uncomfortable. Like,
Yeah,
there's no
reason funny. Like George Floyd died at the hands of the police. Like he died a violent, tragic death.
So, in Tony Hitchcock's point of view, he gonna talk about the drugs and everything. So it again, it's a roast. Like I said, that one probably didn't. It's not gonna fall. It's gonna offend people, but like this is a roast. Like everybody was going in on everything. That was a more darker one. I had my laugh in it wasn't as laugh as I'm laughing at somebody there. My laugh was like, oh my God, I can't believe he went there. I already heard the joke, so he didn't really. It would have been more shocking if I didn't hear it. I heard it for the first time because like there's different type of laughs. That's that cringe laugh, like that cringe nervous, like oh shit, he went there. And that laugh, like oh shit, he went there. See, it's like a different vibe, like. And I mean, when I made that joke, nah, I wouldn't have made that joke. But Tony Hitchcock, he goes above. He's a perpetual line stepper. Like he had a crazy joke at the goddamn at the RNC, man, and that was a way to me that George Floyd joke. That might be equally offensive, man. So I can see why people be offensive, but like the thing is, he's pushing the envelope just because everybody been stuck in a bottle, especially comedy. So yeah, I mean, I'm kind of mixed on that thing. I'm not going to sit up here and chastise Kill Tony on that joke when I want comedy to come back to a point. That one didn't. That's a joke that just didn't work in my opinion. Because it's but I'm happy he did the joke just because we need to get comedy back. I hope that makes sense.
Like there's no humor in that.
Well, Travis Keynes, he's a spokesperson for the Gianna and George Floyd Foundation. Gianna is George Floyd's daughter. Spoke to TMZ and he said that the joke was sad for the culture. They said that George Floyd's friends and family feel like Kevin Hart should have told Tony to stay off the topic if nothing else, and they were baffled and disgusted by Tony's obsession, they call it, with telling George Floyd jokes.
I also don't think they should be joked on because they have nothing to do with the roast.
Nothing at all.
Like like the Cheryl Underwood.
But I disagree with that. Tony Hitchcock it was part of the roast because it was more of it was one of those statement punchlines where he's saying even George Floyd is reacting to the roast in a great way or whatever. That was the part of the joke. I know I'm explaining a joke. That means it's not a good joke if I have to explain it. But Charlamagne being I don't know about that one. You kind of placating on that one.
Making jokes about her husband committing suicide. I wouldn't do that either, but she's there, right? Pete Davidson's father who died in 9/11.
I agree with that though. That part, yeah. If they was a part of the roast, like I get what you're saying now. If the family was somebody representing the family was actually at the roast and they was doing that in good, jabs and stuff, just seeing how far they go. I could see his point on that. I don't necessarily agree with that because, like, I mean, roast nothing's off limits. It was really going at Kevin Hart more than the family. They just took a stray, and it happens. Roast, you're gonna take a stray sometimes.
I wouldn't joke about that, but he's there, okay? But what does George Floyd have to do with the roast?
And they also mentioned too that Gianna gets bullied in school, which is George Floyd's daughter, and that things like the roast that are like such a big platform, it just doesn't help anything. And that they say that Tony should take a second to just think about the real life implications that these jokes can have on people who didn't act.
That's the problem we have. Like the joke. it's unfortunate she's getting bullied in school if that's even happening. I mean, that's one of those things where it could be happening or it couldn't be happening, right? And my standpoint on it is like, the unfortunate truth of this, everybody gets bullied. She might be getting bullied on a different level because of the high profile nature of her family, her father and whatever. That's unfortunate. But the thing is, this culture right now, it sucks because Tony Hedgecliff is trying to move the needle so we could get to a place where we could just be not so uptight about everything. Because right now, it's unfortunate that she's dealing with that, but I kind of see it in a macro level because now everybody know where the line at, pretty much. Those jokes probably didn't land right, but he established where the line at when it comes to the jokes. So therefore, now we have a place to get back where people could just sit back and laugh again. That's my main focus on it. It is unfortunate, but with I think of Gianna. And look, being a person that been bullied and been bullied once upon a time, it sucks. But you know, you got to overcome it, man. You got to overcome it to be a better, be a part of the legacy of your father and stuff, and get, at least be the flower that blooms in a slab of concrete type situation, man. And I mean, that's my only advice on that situation. And I'm not gonna sit up and tell Tony Hedgecliff to dial it back because of somebody getting bullied. People getting bullied all the time right now. I know that might sound harsh and everything, but with how our culture is now, we need that line. We need the boundaries pushed to a point where people can laugh again and not be so serious about every little goddamn thing. So it's a catch-22, man. I'm not gonna sit up and say it's an easy thing, but he can't apologize because that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt the culture even more. It's one of those situations, man. It's unfortunate. That's real.
He does not care.
Obviously, he doesn't give a
He
F.
does not care.
Yeah.
He seems like a racist prick. I just thought it was that nasty and disgusting. I think, when you make jokes about those things, you just have to deal with the consequences of those jokes.
Kevin Hart spoke out yesterday amidst all the backlash and just honestly being thankful. Let's take a listen.
That, my friend, is what the roast is supposed to be. It's goddamn hard-hitting, relentless jokes.
See, Kevin Hart knows exactly. And Kevin Hart is like, look, I need people to get loosened up and start laughing again. Like, this roast should be the tide to lift our boats type situation, get everybody back in the pen and paper. And the thing is too, if you're going to watch a roast, you gotta expect somebody's gonna go above, gonna push the envelope to a point where it's gonna make you feel some type of way. And that's when we all collectively gotta kind of check ourselves before we even listen to it. Like, hey, this is comedy. Let's laugh. Let's have a good time.
No consequence. Shouts out to every comedian that came on that stage. They all understood the assignment, man. There's no emotions attached to a roast. You tell your jokes and we understand that they're going to come with some heat. It's all in the efforts of being funny. It's that simple. I love y'all.
I love funny, but you always going to have to deal with the consequences of your words. I'm telling y'all over and over.
Yeah, and I'm that's the part that we got to get past. Why we got to punish a joke? If it's a bad joke, people not laughing. That's punishment enough. Like, why we got your words matter? Do it. Do everybody's words really matter? You know what I'm saying? If it's a joke, like, and that's the premise where they coming from is making jokes. Even if, I don't know, man. People just want to be upset, and I'm like this. If it's just unfortunate, man. Let's see. Oh yeah, here's more controversy with that. Michael Shea pulled out. Of course, everybody gotta make themselves. Hold on, let me take this over there. everybody gotta make themselves the story now because you know, this is the biggest thing everybody talking about. That's why I know it's a good roast. Now everybody want to be a part of it. Everybody want to say, well, yeah, I wouldn't did that joke and blah, blah, blah. Everybody comment on it. I'm talking about it. That's a good roast. I should pulled out of Kevin Hart roast before shading white writers for jokes about slavery, sex crimes, slur. Oh, fucking. All right. Oh, first of all, Michael Shea is, yeah, I don't, somewhat funny sometimes, but goddamn, dude, yeah, get your head out your ass on this, man. Hey, you gotta. If you didn't want to be there, don't be there. But man, why you gotta jump? That, you know, try to pile on, man. Like everybody was having a good time on that shit. Michael Shea is roasting the roast of Kevin Hart. Comedian and Saturday Night Live star Saturday Night Live really ain't been funny in a long time. Star was originally stated to perform at a live Netflix event on Sunday. Two sources involved in the production tell Variety, but he ended up pulling out due to scheduling difficulties with the SNL. Oh, come on. They could have figured that out. Shea was not alone. Sources say the roast lineup had undergone quite a bit of shuffling with several last-minute additions and dropouts. Now Shea is taking to social media to air some grievances about the event. Right on Instagram, quote, white guys and black people joke differently or whatever, man. See, this the problem. This is the issue we got right now. Like look at the N-word shoes. White roast like slavery mouth, slang teens, sex crime, slurs, family secrets. White guys don't give a fuck about these shoes. Okay, that's one thing. Shea Post appears to reference some of the edgier jokes that, made by roast host Shane Gillis, which is funny. Tony Hedgescript and others. Gillis made jokes mocking Kevin Hart's height that references slavery and lynching. And the thing is, Kevin Hart fucking approved the jokes. Y'all missing the oh my. I'm glad Michael Shea didn't show up. Anyway, the latter quip he admitted required 3 weeks of deliberation. And Hedgescript indulged in a fair share of racial humor as well. As one shocking joke about George Floyd that drew backlash online. Other comics like Jeff Ross and Cat Williams joke about Hart once attended a Diddy party. Pete Davidson and Hedgescript both had jokes referencing but not saying the N word. Dwayne Bacon, they so bad. Dwayne Johnson, Gillis, Ross, and more made fun of Hart's late father's addiction to crack cocaine. Nothing was off limits, Ross told Variety in an interview the day after the live telecast. I appreciate that. All right. While Shea did not name any of the comedians on the dais, he did throw some of the behind the scene rides on the roast of the roast. Quote, let's do a roast and celebrating the career of the most successful black comic in the last 10 years, Shea wrote in a separate post. I love that. We should get the right on that on next slide. Oh my God. You gonna talk about the writers? Come on, man. Shade, if it wasn't, I don't like this. I don't like the shade, man. And this is why that whole thing had to happen, right? It had to happen. So yeah. And speaking of miserable people, let's talk about Anita Sarkeesian and how video games is right now. This is video from the homie. It's a Gundam, and he is the historian on everything Gamergate, feminism, and pop culture type shit. I'm going to play this. I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'm going to just show a little bit of it, probably 4 or 5 minutes. Let's read.
I actually had to learn a lot about video games in the process of making this. And also video games, like I would love to play video games, but I don't want to go around shooting people and ripping off their heads, and it's just gross. So hence this is my response to that.
It's a Gundam. He's sexy without knowing he's sexy, and that's really sexy.
Gaming sucks right now. For every pragmata, there are countless reboots, remakes, sequels, and reimaginings. Battlefield 6 has disappointed me on such a level I have no words to express it. Did I mention you could have a male character, but you'll hear a female?
Yeah, I can't stand that. I'm with him on that. You have a male character playing the game, then if let's say you get down or whatever, it'll be a female voice screaming, they need a medic and everything. It's a little weird. They gotta fix that.
Voice shouting out orders and you're playing, or I'll get shot, and then it'll be a woman's voice screaming for help. It's jarring. Why are half the soldiers and skins in a war game women? It's because some consultant gaslit them into thinking their player base, which no longer exists, by the way, wanted that. They have had this retarded energy probably since Battlefield 5, which was set in World War II, and it featured a crippled woman on the cover till the backlash hit. Then the CEO at the time, Patrick Sutherland, told an interviewer for some game magazine I can scarcely remember that the people not interested in playing women in
I think that was rock paper scissors or something like that.
World War II were uneducated. That's the story he told his daughter because she was wondering why the World War II game didn't act like Fortnite.
Hello, friends. Welcome to Content Update 6.
Proving Patrick Sutherland is a massive retarded homo.
All right, with that, like, if you want to talk about how we got to a point where a large percentage of young men went and voted for Trump and everything, and this is some of the stuff that happened. Like, you had a thing called Gamergate. You had this situation with Anita Sarkeesian being a consultant to the. I mean, he gonna talk about a little bit of how like a lot of this happened and how the culture, and this goes into what's going on with how everybody's reacting to the Kevin Hart roast. So let's read.
Oh, that felt good to say out loud.
Stop him! Studios today have stated they were influenced by Anita Sarkeesian and Feminist Frequency, DICE, Ubisoft, Arcane Studios, Double Fine, Gearbox, Naughty Dog, and BioWare.
Damn, that explains a lot about Battlefield 6 right now, actually. I did not know that.
And now a word from our sponsor.
Okay, the government is after me and Asmongold, so someone has to pay the piper.
Oh, them.
Loyalty rewards and real money for playing. That's it. When you guys, so they're not whole developers pay rewards app for people. Link in the description. Also, women in active combat duty is more rare than not seeing gas prices rise by the middle of the afternoon because the Cheeto Puff said something stupid.
Combat, 85% of active duty soldiers are men. And though there are many women serving in the armed services, fewer than 8% profess a desire to engage in combat.
There was a time when gaming was fantastic, just like movies and television. The 20 teens were the last bastion of entertainment. You'll never get another show like Arrested Development. And then when they brought it back for a season 4, of course, they gated up.
Want to drink later? And believe it or not, it was this trick. Now everybody's gay! That really.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
Yeah, I haven't watched the new season of Arrested Development, man. I just want to pass on that. Let's read.
Want the crowd to their feet.
When Anita Sarkeesian rolled around, and I'm going 10 toes down on this one, she was a catalyst for entertainment as a whole, leaning heavily towards equity and inclusion. Before I knew it, hot chicks were out and half-shaved head lesbians and ugly, ugly, ugly activist women were in. To think.
See, another thing too is when people talk about DEI, like this is like your average Joe who is not part of the nerd culture. They just hear DEI, they mean like you're not trying to hire black people. But people that's gaming, people that's comic books, people all across the board that's like in like those subgroups and pop culture and stuff, they hear DEI and they thinking Anita Sarkeesian, they thinking feminism, they thinking subvert expectations, which it was a part where it was a good part of like subverting expectation storytelling, but they went another way with like intersectional feminism type stuff. So that's what that's the disconnect people have right now. Let's read.
A woman with less enthusiasm for gaming than Darkside Phil could reshape an entire industry and landscape to be worse for a target audience that didn't exist. Sounds familiar to you? When Gamergate was over, the truth of the matter was Anita Sarkeesian had won, hands down. She's probably worth at least $1 to $2 million, and she lives quite comfortably. Things she said that we all laughed at back in 2016.
Everything is sexist, everything is racist, everything is homophobic, and you have to point it all out.
Is now echoed.
See? Where did you hear that at? And like I said, that mindset is why we haven't had good comedy and real good comedy like it was in the 2000s on down, like Superbad and all that stuff, and Project X and all that stuff. We ain't had that type of comedy in such a long time. It's because this.
Seriously, 10 years later. But it did seem like for a time she was falling off. Feminist Frequency went bankrupt. She was trying to publicly pressure CD Projekt Red into hiring her, which surprisingly didn't work. I mean, CD Projekt Red seems like a company full of pillow biters.
Hey, CD Projekt Red, I'm always available for consultation, because it sure sounds like you might need it before the whole of the internet drags you for what sounds like some potentially sexist representations, which we all know you struggled with in the past.
Yeah, God forbid The Witcher 3 be a good game that was heterosexual. At one point, she had a birthday party in her 40s where she married herself. The fate that awaits most annoying progressive women who see men.
She married herself. Talk about pretentious, man. That's crazy.
Male hobbies is something that needs to be micromanaged. I figured at that point it was over. But I have to admit, her making a burner account to tell me to cancel my life subscription when I laughed at her show being canceled, that was pure chef's kiss. Around that time, companies like Sweet Baby became what Feminist Frequency always wanted to be. And even they fell once exposed, because God, did they really screw up the Spider-Man game. But like Lord Sauron, Anita Sarkeesian always manages to return. On May 6th, Devolver Digital, one of the more interesting and even edgier indie developers who lambasted loot boxes back when EA3 press conference was still a thing.
Loot boxes have made headlines over the past year, and you, the moronic gobbling maw of consumer idiocy that you are, have shown little to no regret in just plain dumping your money into this deeply insulting monetization model.
Was now working with Anita Sarkeesian on Slay the Spire too.
Anita's work has been an essential part of Devolver Productions' workflow.
They always infiltrate things like they always infiltrate like these type of things. Like something end up being edgy, end up being for the fans, end up being like good art and everything. You get some boring motherfucker that like wanna just go in there and change things and say, oh yeah, this is a good platform you could use, and this is yeah. Can't have nothing cool anymore. Let's read.
For a long time now. Whether it's a quick sense check or a full consultancy gig, our teams have always benefited hugely from collaborating with Anita and her group. She is at the forefront of promoting diversity and inclusion with our industry, and for that reason, she's a vital part.
And that's why DEI have a bad taste in a lot of people's mind. When you read that, and you, for somebody that's a part of like, that's a purveyor of like pop culture, when you read that or you hear like modern audience don't mean, all right, we're gonna try to get Gen Z to like this product. They're saying, hey, this the audience we wanna sell to. Not this is the audience that wants to buy a product. We want to sell this to, and a lot of times the audience doesn't even exist. Let's read.
Of the work that we do.
Oh my God! You know, after seeing Anita's tweet to CD Projekt Red, where she pressured them, really makes me wonder what the she offer that makes games more fun or interesting. A woman in her 40s with a half-shaved head has never had anything of value to share. Honestly, consultancy is a scam made up by women to get jobs to be professional buzzkills. And you can quote me on that. I know people will say something.
No, he's halfway right on that. Now I'm not gonna go so far as say consultancy is just for that, but I would say because like there you could be a consultant. Let's say if you're a historian of a certain time period and you're real deep in that, you're expert in that, or you're an expert in like hand-to-hand combat stuff. Yeah, you could be a consultant to like help with the action scenes or something like that. That's one thing, but like it's a certain type of consultancy they do, like, they want to consult you about your story. It's similar. I ain't gonna say similar. It's the same. I ain't gonna say similar to what's going on with Disney, where they have to run every script through some type of writing room where not do HR, and the HR will have these type of consultants saying, "Do you really want a heteronormative relationship in this day and age?" That type of shit. Then all of a sudden you get these type of ventures and these where it seemed like you could tell that like it's not any chemistry because they pretty much HR the chemistry at the product when it comes to like human chemistry and stuff like that. So consultants would be a major part of like making that situation happen because they always got their own little bias. They want to, scratch that itch.
Thing like,
Oh, let it go. Move on.
like, bro, she went to Congress and tried to get them to censor the internet or something, to get them to pay attention to games, to protect women and girls from misogyny.
If she had her way, many of us would have been arrested for the videos we made or the comments we made about her.
That's true.
Even if they were innocuous and saying something like she was annoying or she was a detriment to the gaming industry.
And even on the internet, men face as much or more bullying than women. According to the Pew Research Center, more women than men are sexually harassed, but men are the primary targets of threats.
We see that in a lot of the sectors that's going on, like that you'll more likely be charged to fight as a man than a woman. Like it's just gonna be little arguments here and there. It might be a little tit tat. It might be they might call your job type of situation. That's what women do. But like a lot of the times, men it's always like, hey, you need to pull up. Hey, you need to do this. Hey, you need to do that. Hey, you need to stand on what you're saying, talking about this, and that. That usually happens in male circles, man. That's the truth of the matter. Like it's very rare that women on the internet will be like, hey, let's go meet up and fight. It got to be like you got to be super local. It got to be on some the chick know the person, other chick, and something. It's on that type of time. Like women ain't meeting random women to go fight. They'll destroy their life. That's destroy their reputation, but they're not gonna go out there and be trying to fight a stranger. But I mean, and really, it's not smart for dudes to even do that. Like, Second Amendment exists.
And here are some more facts that challenge the male privilege mantra.
You see, the industry pushed Anita Sarkeesian like she was the cure for a problem that never really existed, and she cashed in on it. From being on The Daily Show, where Stephen Colbert tap danced around and pretended that gamers are completely retarded and irrational, to getting the Ambassador of the Year award from Neil Druckmann. This would be the equivalent of the FGC giving DSP the Ambassador of the Year award for Street Fighter, even though we know he was a toxic, begging knuckle. By the way, Neil Druckmann said that he took major inspiration from Anita Sarkeesian.
Less than they can be. And this is coming from a guy that almost made a really misogynistic game. So I kind of know what I'm talking about. So once this thing failed and I had this awakening, almost exactly at the same time, this Kickstarter happened about the tropes versus women in video games. And while you might argue with the way it delivers its message or whether every point is exact, you can't argue with just
Here's another thing, like they were looking for a market that doesn't exist. Like if we go on any mixed crowd panel, whatever, and we just start talking about video games, half the women just gonna fall off. They're gonna go and do something else. They're gonna get off the panel or whatever. They're gonna be like, they're gonna go on mute. They're not gonna interact with that conversation unless. And the ones that interact with the conversation, they're not gonna be as fanatical, as knowledgeable as the men in this, because like we are different. Like, here's the thing. Reason I'm so into certain things is because that was a refuge for me from some of the stress that was in my life, some of the outside noise. It was hobbies for a man is to tame that beast before that beast is let out type situation. And it's everything has a point. Like you read a comic book or you read books or you you into some type of, you know, tinkering with your hobby stuff, it's a practical reason. Like gaming, I was telling my daughter, right, we were having this discussion because like we took Roblox off of iPad and everything. And my wife finally did. I told her to do, I've been talking, I'm not really with the robot, but of course, you know, man, we have to choose our battles when it comes to a relationship, whatever. I'm not really saying nothing to, but then like, you know, it was a situation with a cousin that happened on Roblox, and she finally saw the light in that situation. I keep it at that. But like I was telling my daughter, I was like, hey, you know, because my daughter really wants to act now. She's like really into theater right now. She's 10 years old. She's memorizing scripts. She not understand how to use her diaphragm let's say frame to like carry her voice better, her presence on the stage. She's learned how to do that at a young age, and I'm actually impressed because like it's some people that still don't know how to do that properly in some aspects. However, so we were talking about so we were talking about I was like, yeah, I've been yeah, I know you didn't want me on Roblox, so we was playing with the cousin. But honestly, I was like, look, I understand you want to play with your cousin on there and want to be social and everything, right? But you want to act in in things that help you with your acting, things that help you your creative endeavors anyway. You have to do things. It's just like how athletes, like if you want to be in some cases you want to be a better basketball player. Boxers tend to be good basketball players just because of the footwork and understanding that, like positioning and stuff like that. They tend to be good. Boxers tend to be good basketball players and good linemen and stuff like that because they working with their hands and feet and stuff like that. So with that being said, like even with acting, like hand-eye coordination actually help things that stimulate what's up. All right. Things that stimulate your brain can help with your creativity. It can help with your you know, with everything else coming in creativity, like your mind, you could kind of grasp a character better than the whole nine, right? So I was basically trying to convince her. I think it kind of take like, hey, this play something that's going to challenge your mind. They're going to actually help you somewhere else. I firmly believe that because like I've seen gamers who pick up like playing an instrument way easier because they've been working that part of their brain for so long. Because gaming, I mean, part of your gaming, your cognitive functions, hand-eye coordination, stuff like that. It does translate to art, playing an instrument. Understand it, like if you listening to certain music a lot, you understand like different rhythms and stuff, cadence and stuff. So, you know, hey, while it works. So yeah, like my point is this market never really, you didn't have to have a change in the market to gather women to want to play. Because if women really want to play games, they will go play games. That's my point.
Pattern that you see in the industry. So I was really intrigued by this. The videos for the video games hadn't come out yet, but I watched the rest of Anita's videos and I realized it's not just a problem in games, it's actually throughout entertainment.
This is funny. He's dead.
See, it always goes farther than just games. It's just not games, it's entertainment. Therefore, that's why we got the outrage on the Kevin Hart thing. They're not treating the outrage on Kevin Hart isn't really about the jokes, in my opinion. It's about the fact that they not adhering to some type of doctrine that's already been determined for them. You know what I'm saying? Like they are like people are legit mad because people like the jokes isn't following what the acceptable jokes are. So that like I said, that's why they have to destroy comedy, because comedy challenges every, like the jester job was to challenge the king's challenge the king to a point of like, hey, is he taking himself too serious or not? That's the whole point of the jester, the fool, the motley is it's a like, because they usually be the first one to go if it's a unworthy king, because like it might make the wrong joke and then all of a sudden that dude gonna look like a tyrant because he executed the fool. That's read.
The most amusing solution is to simply include a cape, tunic, long coat, or very conveniently positioned piece of tattered fabric, which actively prevents the player from getting a clear or sustained look at the protagonist's butt. For the purposes of this video, I tried to get a glimpse of Batman's rear end, but it's as if his cape is a high-tech piece of Wayne Industries equipment designed to cover up his butt at all costs. I like to jokingly refer to this aspect of a male character's costume as the strategic butt covering.
I've never actually sat through any of Feminist Frequency videos, but this has to be the most shockingly bad analysis I've ever seen of a video game. Is she given credence simply because she's a woman and she says she's feminist? These are sort of brain-dead observations that are surface level I'd expect from Darkside Phil. Wow, the gaming industry is such a massive joke and deserves no respect, because if people platform this absolute nothing burger of content and pointing out misogyny, then they really are incredibly stupid in California. And that's coming from someone in New York.
She is stunning and brave.
All right, hold on.
Bayonetta is a widely popular video game that was released earlier this year in the US and late last year in Japan for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. All of that is besides the point when it comes to this game. First, the positive things about the game. She's a single mother, and that's kind of it. So on to the negatives.
Typical feminist brain take. What she won't tell you is that the statistics show a single mother household is the #1 indicator for poverty, failure in life, and possibly incarceration. It's something they don't really talk about because it isn't really positive.
On to the negatives. She carries with her 4 pistols, 2 of which are strapped to her high-heeled boots, which provide the perfect opportunity for her to contort her body into pornographic poses, including spreading her legs and doing a little flip in the air to kill the bad guys. When she lands, she does a little sexy pose.
How dare men have fun? How dare we look at, women that's not them? How dare we do that?
For the player, complete with the sound
Pay attention to me. That's what I'm hearing right now.
of a camera shutter snapping. But it gets even better, because one of her most powerful weapons involves her stripping all her clothes off and turning her hair into an evil demon weapon fighting machine. Did you get that?
When Amy Hennig was pushed out of Naughty Dog by Sony, and he got to become...
It's ironic, too. This is the most ironic thing, because, like, you would think a male feminist would support a woman. She's the lady that made all the Uncharted games. Yeah, I think all of them. She made, let's say she's a part of the Resistance games and a lot of games. She's been with Naughty. I think she helped with Crash Bandicoot. She's been part of Naughty Dog for years. That's real.
The lead, you ended up with the mess that was The Last of Us 2.
What happened with Uncharted 4? Because Amy Hennig dropped out and all. Like, what was that like for you? Did that impact you?
It was very upsetting.
Yeah.
We were in production on 4, and we got a call one day that Amy had been replaced. I don't know whether this is public knowledge or not, but that was not her choice. It was the company's choice.
Yeah, that's public. Yeah.
Crazy.
But I'd love to know why, because
since PlayStation 1, like, she been like a pillar of that company for years.
it done such a fantastic job on the first 3. You know what I mean?
I don't really know
the
answer to that. Why? There was some sort of internal machinations going on behind the scenes, and I don't know.
It was upsetting for you and the entire crew, but then
absolutely,
like heartbreaking, or you were able to,
angry mostly.
What did you steal?
Secrets.
This movie, I'm actually interested in that.
I also think Nia Sarkeesian was probably on the Times 100 most influential people. Like, really, my God, did she get a push no one else got? All of this is why you little bigots will never...
So, to me, I think she was a plant because video games at that time was a multi-billion-dollar industry, right? And once your industry, you end up becoming multi-billion dollar industry. That's when the infiltration start happening. That's when, okay, we got it, and then especially when a lot of the big AAA studios start going public, then that's when the infiltration happens. Because now a certain stockbroker want this consulting firm, or I don't like the fact my family, my kids are playing this game, which they control all of whenever the kids play that certain game. But they don't. It's hard to parent, when you want to run things, the game. That's rigged.
Ever get another Lollipop Chainsaw Massacre game again, and the world will be poorer for it.
Equity and inclusion isn't creative, it's subversive. And I genuinely believe it started with her shenanigans. We live in a day and age where the gaming fan base is assaulted on all fronts, between bad policies.
You see that propaganda, and see this goes to the masculation of men, right? Isn't it funny that everything that we like to do as men tend to be painted into this unattractive look, and this we insensitive, we this, we that, when we just want to mind our fucking business and do something we love, and go live our life. So that's the media's job, is to, if you want to have crazy stories keep popping up, you want to have frustrated people going and doing some atrocities or whatever, you keep on picking at them and make sure they don't have any. They're not really happy with doing any hobbies or whatever. You just keep on mess with them, right? And that's what this is. Like, your average gamer probably got a career. You know what I'm saying? They working a decent job and everything, and like they want to do something to unwind. Like, lot most of my adult life, I had a career. I just chose, instead of like going out chasing women all the damn time and everything. I eventually got married and everything, but like going out, partying, spending all my money at the club, trying to get bottles, this and that. I said, man, sometimes I just want to chill at the house, play Madden, chill at the house, play some Call of Duty, Battlefield, play some Street Fighter with the homies, or Mortal Kombat, what a fighting game that's hot at the time, Get the Gear, Soul Calibur, shit like that, right? And just and a lot of times, like, it'll be chicks that's down with just doing that, you know. But see, the problem is there's a lot of ugly women that not getting any attention whatsoever, or they pass their prime and they've been on that carousel and tripping over every dude impossible. Now nobody wants them, so now they lashing out because they made bad decisions. Because it's hard to look at yourself when you're not getting what you want to get out of life. It's hard to do that. So like this, like, it's extremely unattractive. Women said men who play video games are turned off, and the internet disagrees. Yeah, stuff like that. Because like it's the ongoing misogyny in video game. Yeah, these little stories like this designed to emasculate men. Because the thing is, I even say this, like, if it was a chick that, now if she playing Call of Duty or she playing some shooter that's highly competitive, yeah, you're gonna see the more uglier side, because their whole job is to get you off your game so they could beat you. You playing Madden, the same thing. Like, well, if you playing some type of MMO or RPG or something like that, it's gonna be more accommodating, because like I said, everybody gotta cooperate or whatever. Now you have assholes everywhere, don't get me wrong. But let's read.
Tariffs, pointless wars in the Middle East driving up prices on everything. The first console generation in history to become more expensive than the previous. Games journalists are mostly activists that hate the core audience with a passion. Then they give games that are universally panned by gamers like a 10 out of 10. But the games that the people love get a 6 out of 10 at best.
I have to I meant, you just remind me. Hold up. I don't have an example of All right. I'm gonna show. Hey, pay attention to this game right here. Pay attention to this game right here. And let's read.
Video game industry is now not only
and this game was horrible too. There was a lot of gender. All these
pricing its core
all them games was fucking horrible.
audience out of the market, but it is also seeing them as savages as well.
People were not happy with this news, and frankly, I think I'm done with Devolver Digital personally. And they didn't make a sequel to Mother Russia Bleeds.
If you're someone who generally cares about video games as a hobby and you don't hate Anita Sarkeesian just by default, the reason is actually not that complicated. It just means you're retarded. The only other alternative is that you do not, in fact, care about gaming much at all, and you're just lying. The entire culture war you see today, the division, lack of unity, the shitty, soulless AAA games, and that all look exactly the same with the same bored and tired casting of bald black lesbian, overweight diverse women at 883, even the safe modern audience Fortnite aesthetic that so many games are guilty of, which is essentially a race for corporations to be as safe and non-offensive as humanly possible. Fucking all of that exists directly as a result of Anita Sarkeesian. She's
100% right, and that goes deeper to like the movies and entertainment. This is why Kevin Hart's roast was needed, because of bitches like her. And I'm sorry.
is exactly responsible for that. The root cause. This woman was a literal can in the video game hobby. She came in, declared everything problematic, then she sold herself as a consultant to fix the very thing she took up upon herself to declare as a problem. In reality, not one person agreed that any of this was a problem. She is the original grifter. She made up an entire story about how she played Mario and Kirby since she was 5, only for the video to surface, proving that she was an outsider who actually hated the hobby and had to do research to learn what video games were.
And a lot of people, again, this is what happens when an industry become $1 billion entity in itself, right? It might be past $1 billion. It might be like $100 billion, something like that now. Because you got to think about, you got so many. I think Madden worth. Let me see. I stand corrected. Global video game industry is valued at roughly $185 billion. So when your whole industry in itself is pretty much more than some countries' GDP, right? You're gonna get people like Anita Sarkeesian to infiltrate and try to put their stamp on the whole thing and use it as a platform to push politics. You have to remember, like, she was getting pushed because of the WEF and everybody that wanted to the whole BlackRock situation, which they dished that to change it to something else, probably Bridge or whatever. To change behavior. They wanted to change behavior, and how dare a random dude just go and have fun playing a video game? You got to be taught how to act. And again, this affects everything from a comedy roast down to who you might be voting in the midterms. So let's read.
We're about. If you perpetuate this, your entire company deserves nothing but scorn, and your game should be spit on by the general audience.
When I say people are mad, they're mad.
Anita Sarkeesian is trending. It's 2026. Y'all need to move on. No, after what she did, never.
Shout. And I'll leave that at right there. It's that game mixtape. Been getting a lot of news. I meant to I have to put the volume down. But this game is considered a 10 out of 10. It's a 3-hour game, and this is what people like Anita Sarkeesian and everybody is saying, that this is the future of video gaming. And see if they have music. Hold up.
So in this cutscene.
Okay, yeah, they got. So this is just this basic gameplay.
I say this, but
why they got music on there? So basically, like, you're not really running, running, jumping. It looked like you running, jumping, but this sequence is already pre-planned. there's no threat of failure or anything. It's not really gameplay. It's just you just going to the set piece. And
the character is going at a janky frame rate that makes it look like she's.
yeah. And they oh my god, that's so stupid.
Bueller.
Yeah.
I need to interact with the pivotal character moment. Oh, look, there's going to be a moment here. I'm not going to press anything. Oh!
she didn't even press nothing, just did it. Yeah, it's horrible. Why they on top of the bus? Stupid. So, hold on. What? They are. Why is he just holding the football like this? What? This is stupid, man. That didn't even make any sense. What? Oh man. Yeah. Yeah. That look horrible. I wish I could play the video. It got the music in it. So we'll talk about this. I'm going to end it, man. I think a lot of people live right now. It's cool.
Video about the Pragmata video game drama and covered some insane opinions people were having about it. How the game activated some fatherly instinct in some men, and how people were calling those men creepy incels for having the basic human desire to start a family. A small part of that video was covering far-left Twitch streamer Hasan Piker's awful opinion about it. I will play that segment in its entirety so you have some context.
What's really interesting about this is all of these unfuckable losers in the gaming sphere always talk about like starting families and stuff. And I don't know.
By the way, this dude here, he's supposed to be the voice of the left to get men back voting for the DNC, the Dems stuff. So just FYI.
Understand like why this has become a thing that they care about. Like if you're a gamer, you should care about things that you actually experience. You should care about things you actually enjoy, right? If you're a lonely gamer who has never been around a woman and will never have sex with a woman, why do you care? Like, why do you care about having children or like riding for having children? Like, it's just not something that you're going to experience ever for your life, for the rest of your life, right? This is something that I never understand.
Wow, maybe there's a reason people are yearning to start a family and can't afford to have one and can't seem to find a partner. They feel alienated from their work and atomized from their community. If only there was a political commentator around to speak about all this. Oh well, guess not. First of all, the only care about something if it affects you is extremely libertarian coded and also very weird coming from a guy who understandably wants everybody to care about a genocide that is happening across the ocean. Second of all, what is this nihilistic horseshit? You never aspire for anything, never aim for greatness and meeting. And I love how he's like, unfuckable losers. Like, okay, congrats on the sex, bro. Check out this sex haver over here. They're amazing
we went through that already.
I was the first one to ever join the military in my family. I knew that I wanted to go back to school and produce a pictures.
So go to ground.news/shoe or use the further ado. Let's get back to this video. So I thought it would be fun if someone joined me responding to this because it is so ridiculous. I needed somebody to like bounce off with because I felt like I needed some like emotional moral support because I feel like I'm going insane watching this.
Get up in here, okay? Why? What do you want me to do? myself in the face, not die in the process, but at least lose significant chunks of my brain.
I think I played this. Played this a couple weeks ago. We were talking about showing head versus Hasan Pike of round one. Just want everybody to hear how he's sounding right now. So she gonna respond to this. Let's read.
So I can operate at the same substandard, suboptimal IQ level that Shuon Head and her dumb audience operates in, so I can do a regular response to that? Is that what you want me to do?
Why is he so mad? Still has yet to bring up anything.
Nothing.
0 points.
Like,
0
yeah,
points
how
addressed.
How many seconds in are we?
I basically made the same joke in my video about like giving myself brain damage so I could understand. Trying to follow the logic here. Let me just give myself some brain damage. Imagine being that chatter. Like, hey Hasan, did you check out this video? Do you want me?
Ooh, look at me. I'm an emo girl and I change my politics all the time. Ooh.
Time out.
Please. Emo? I wasn't even gonna bring that up. No, hold on. For me, it's the wild way that he frames having nuanced opinions, like depending on the subject. Like, God forbid you disagree with Hasan Piker, the arbiter of correct opinions of the.
That's the thing with some of these folks. Like, you have to agree with them on every little fucking thing, or that's a goddamn capital offense, man. I do not like hang out with people like that. Like, I'm very nuanced in my beliefs. I'm very thoughtful on how I come up with ideas. I don't have to agree with everything you saying. Sometimes sometimes like I'm just like I wouldn't take it even serious to a point. Like, somebody had like a belief that I didn't agree with or I didn't see eye to eye with. I was like, okay, I just don't agree with that. I let you have that, but I don't really agree with that. And if that's an issue, man, like you got issues for real. That's real.
Internet.
I do not have that many videos. I have like 100 videos in the span of like a decade. You could go randomize and click on any of those videos and you wouldn't be able to tell if it was made today or 10 years ago.
Yep.
Which honestly, I shouldn't be bragging about. But okay, my point is,
she's been really consistent in a lot of her situations. She's been very consistent. She's been like center left. And I think that's another problem. Like, anybody far left as Hasan Piker, if you're center left, you are damn near, you might as well be rushing about to him or be, or whatever he deemed as the evil person. That's just how far left he is.
I haven't changed that much. And the things I have changed my mind about, I'm very open about. The way he's framing people changing their minds, changing their political opinions over time as like a bad thing is bizarre, especially as a guy whose goal is, I assume, to change people's mind politically. He's totally for people changing their minds politically, but only when they change their mind to agree with him. He supports people changing their mind as new information presents itself. He supports iDubbbz apologizing for the crime of being funny 5 years ago. But when it comes to me changing my mind on like 3 things over the course of a decade, that's bad. Like, yes, I've changed on a few.
If you change your mind to disagree with him, you're the worst person in the world, because like he's supposed to have. Well, you're supposed to agree with him 100% of the time and be lockstep and, reading Lennon out every day instead of, like anything else. That's what you're supposed to be doing when you're at, you deal with him. It's full of shit.
Few things, obviously. From the ages 23 to 35, yes, your opinions are gonna change a little sometimes.
No way, really?
Like, you probably don't believe the same things you believed like 10 years ago.
No, absolutely not. Well, I think in that video that you talked about, I don't know, I remember like a couple of months ago, you were like, I had a baby and then I lived in the city. And then I was like, man, maybe safety and putting money into the police isn't that bad, you guys. And maybe that was different when you were like 20 or 25.
Right, exactly. Like, when I was living in like sheltered suburbs, I was like, ACAB, f the police. And then you live, and then you're an adult with a child and you live in the city and it's like, oh, actually, no, we need more police.
Yeah, I mean, like, when your finances change and you work hard for your stuff, like the easiest way. I've said this. I don't know. I said this on the channel, but the easiest way to change somebody politics from being left to right it's your first. I'll say your first libertarian moment is that you experience not being told or being like lectured to or learn libertarianism in general. Is when you get your first paycheck after you work a whole week at work and you see how much they take out of Social Security and everything, FICA, all that. I mean, all that FICA, all that stuff. Taxes, state taxes. If you got that, seeing that's your first libertarian moment. Like, hey, where my money going to? You just took what? Some cases half of your money in some states. The other case, like what? 25% of your check going off of taxes and whatever. So like, yeah, your politics is gonna change when you see that, or you're gonna have a more understanding of where your money going. You're gonna do research, then you go from there. So let's read.
Never mind.
I just confuse terminally left-right brained people. I always have. Hyperpartisan people absolutely hate me because they can't just put me into a neat little box and then smash that box with a hammer. Hasan usually can hand wave away critics like, oh, they're just an Israel shill, they're just a Zionist. He can't do that with me. He hand waves them away by calling them neocons or neoliberals. He can't do that with me. Alt-right incels. He can't do that with me. So what does he do? He malfunctions and starts calling me emo. Like, okay, man, you got me.
Here's another thing too. If you notice, like if you call somebody a Marxist, like you call a Marxist, they get offended by that mostly because you label them and define them and put them in a category in which they can't infiltrate, they can't subvert whatever you thinking with. Like if you ever talk to a Marxist and you call them a Marxist, you see them as a Marxist. First thing they're gonna try to get you to do is tell you to ask for the definition of being a Marxist or whatever. And you get definition 99.9% right. But what they would do, they'll worry about that 0.1% or 0.01% to be exact and say you don't know what you're talking about. That's how they work. They have to control definitions and they can't be defined because that they do not have any power once they've been defined. So just a little tidbit on that. Like if they ever ask you to define what Marxism is, say, I know what it is. You could literally like, well, I know the definition, but I know you're going to change it. So I'm not going to accept your premise of asking me about, defining what you are. I'm seeing it right now. You're doing telltale signs. They ask you, well, what is the telltale signs? You ask me the telltale signs. You can make it because, like, the thing is, arguing with a Marxist is a wasted endeavor anyway, man. Like, they not going to see you eye to eye. Now you could, and you have to establish that they're gonna come in a disingenuous argument. So there you go. Let's read.
Emo is when eyeliner, I guess. In the hyper-partisan mind, it is completely impossible to hold several non-contradictory opinions at the same time, like wanting free healthcare but also wanting a strong border. Like, to me, those aren't contradictory whatsoever. In fact, that works together. You don't want to override your healthcare system, right? Your focus should be American citizens. Like, in their mind, like, Denmark doesn't exist, right? They think like, oh, if you think unions are important, you must also be for minors having HRT. Like, no. If you believe in public transportation, you also have to believe in abolishing prisons. Like, no. Sorry, no. I don't know how my ideology is confusing. I don't know how they see that as like flip.
Because they want full control, and they don't want you to have any individuality. Because like, if you have individuality, you will have a set of things that you agree with, and then you could compromise. You could not compromise. You could make deals with the other side. See, they want full control because they want to destroy the other side. They don't want nobody, and they want to subvert every. And it goes back to gaming. They want to subvert every little thing possible that everybody loves because they want full control. That's just the way it is. They're gonna constantly challenge people that even on their side. Like, it's funny how that keep happening, but like that's what authoritarians do, man. Like even if they get everything they want. Let's say we become a full-fledged communist nation. They have full-fledged control over all aspects of life. They still gonna be mad at the fact that things are not working. We going through the motions per se. So they will always find something. I mean, they need constant revolution. They always gotta be fighting for something, and that's a big telltale sign of somebody that is in Marxism. They always they gotta find an issue. Like think about it. When gay marriage shit happened, right? And having the Supreme Court pretty much let everything go down, right? The first thing they did, they start finding other groups. I'm talking about the activist side. They start finding other groups to advocate for and to push the fight against. So that's just the way it is, man. Like, you can't make people like that happy. You gotta literally just beat them culturally and financially and spiritually. Notice I didn't say physically because like that's a trap in itself. Let's read.
Flopping or being a grifter, when to me it's like completely normal common sense stuff. Like, you can't have a country in decay like this. You can't. It will not be fixed by people like Hasan telling young men not to aspire for anything and saying stupid shit like telling people it's cool to steal.
Would you steal from Whole Foods?
I'm pro stealing from big corporations.
Like, what in the fucking LARP is that?
He's pro stealing from, but let somebody steal from him. He'll act a goddamn fool. Let somebody steal his Ferrari. Oh my God, he'll have the biggest. And look, this is the hypocrisy in them, right? All right, we basically stopped oil in Cuba, and he went down there crying like a little bitch. That's the hypocrisy. I thought it's all a LARP, man. Let's read.
Yeah, stealing is so cool, dude. Let's just steal from big corporations so those big corporations move out of that community, and then that community turns into a crime-ridden, unsafe shithole ghost town and a food desert. Like, yeah, bro, you're really fighting the man. Listen, you can tell people that billionaires are the real enemy until you are blue in the face, and it might be true, but Jeff Bezos isn't the one stabbing them on a train, you know? You can't have a peaceful, functioning, socialist, or even social democratic society with the delusional social policies of Hasan Piker. You just can't. Anyway, sorry, I'm going on a tangent. It's just so funny he sees my politics as like incoherent, when to me his politics are the ones that are incoherent. The video was barely political. My response to him was about his like nihilistic mindset when it comes to young men. Because for years we had to watch the media shove this guy down our throat like he was the Joe Rogan of the left. Oh, he was gonna save young men from the alt-right pipeline. By the way, this guy is never going to be the Joe Rogan of the left, because like Joe Rogan, at least Joe Rogan from years ago, I don't know about now, was all about listening to other people's beliefs and hearing other people's opinions. Hasan does not do that. Hasan closes his ears and goes, la la la, I can't hear you, you're stupid, I'm smart. For years we had to listen to how this guy is gonna push young men away from the GOP. They are leaving the GOP, but they're not going to the Democrats, and I don't know if they're going to the left either. But anyway, my video was not political. In fact, the only part that was political was the part where I agree with Hasan about the genocide in Gaza.
If you're a gamer, you should care about things that you actually experience.
Very weird coming from a guy who understandably wants everybody to care about a genocide that is happening across the ocean. My point there was, you can't be telling young men to only care about things that directly affect them and then make it your life mission to tell those same young men to care about things that don't directly affect them.
Do you want me to lose chunks of my brain? Do you want me to John Fetterman myself so I can understand the compelling argument the shoe on head makes? One that should have been left in the dustbin of history all the way back in 2016.
As if opinions from 2016 aren't still here today that are good.
Literally, technically, I mean, I'll put my stats on the screen. I am literally more relevant today than 2016. Like, more people
I agree with that.
are watching. So these aren't opinions from 2016. These are opinions from now, Hasan. People disagree with you now.
Look at me as an emo girl. 4chan guys who are now 38 years old want to fap to me.
Wait, 4chan guys want to fap to me? Wait, I thought it was super cool and progressive to have like an army of men who simp for you online. That's not very woke of you, Hasan.
First of all, I like how he used the word fap.
That's so old, isn't it? Is it gooning now?
Yes,
Come
it's
on.
gooning.
What
Come
a
on.
program.
Come on, get with the times. It should have been left in 2016, Hasan. Come on.
Man.
If this was said by anyone else, he would be calling it misogynistic and sexist. But it's being said by someone with the hive mind approved opinion, so it's okay.
Again, they would use every tool possible to win a so-called argument, and then tell you you're wrong for using that said argument or that tool. It's all hypocrisy. Short hair is 100%. I ain't gonna say she 80% right, because like the Gaza thing, like, hey, that's a whole subject that right there I'm not touching. But I want to hear the actual response to that. Let's go.
What do they even mean by that?
Being attractive and eating healthy and working out is right wing. What the f are we smoking?
Get the confidence to make
Crazy.
better business decisions with the help of Zero.
For like a good 3 years, there was this really weird campaign to make Hasan Piker like the face of progressive masculinity in a bizarre attempt to move men.
This is a telltale sign that the left got a big masculinity issue. Let's read.
To the left. A progressive in a MAGA body, they said, which, like, what the f did they mean by that? Hey guys, we're not all ugly dysgenic freaks. Look, there's one of us who's attractive. What? Mr. Piker's success on camera, in some part, has been aided by the fact that he is, by conventional standards, a very handsome man. He is 6 feet 4 inches tall and built like a professional athlete. A square jaw, a beard, and a head of thick dark hair. It's the one aspect many of my haters can't shake, Mr. Piker said of his appearance in a Twitch broadcast last year. They can't turn around and be like, you're not hot. Indeed, tens of thousands of viewers may watch his videos for his
All right, that's enough. Yeah, I hear her response on this.
Is he like projecting onto me? Is that what this is? Is he like insecure about his thirst traps and his reputation of being nothing but eye candy? And listen, I'm not.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, you can have that too. I mean, I understand where you're coming from. But yeah, we got some news, man. I'm gonna end off on this because I'm getting sleep. Apparently, the CIA has raided Dina Tulsi Gabbard's office to seize documents regarding MK Ultra and JFK files. Gabbard was reportedly in the middle of declassifying MK Ultra. The CIA just raided Tulsi's office. They just haul off dozens of boxes, files on the JFK assassination, MK Ultra. See, oh shit! Yeah, let me let's hear this.
CIA just raided Tulsi Gabbard's office. Agents hauled out dozens of boxes, files on the JFK assassination and MK Ultra, the CIA mind control operation, which she was in the process of declassifying. Today's whistleblower said it during his deposition, and Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna confirmed it moments ago.
The reason why this is troubling is, A, there was an executive order that the president had directed the full declassification of JFK, but then also to the MK Ultra files. The CIA famously has said that, you know, all documents were released and other documents had been destroyed. So these are allegedly those documents that apparently never existed.
Can the CIA overrule
the DNI?
No. CIA just raided Tulsi
How
Gabbard.
that's supposed to work? Like, she's the fucking DNI. That's weird. Oh no. Yeah, that's weird there. All right, that just dropped. So, I don't have nothing to say. That's just a wild story. But I'll drop the link. Well, I mean, you know what? I'm gonna chill out. I'm a little tired in the way. I'm about to go eat me something, and y'all have a nice night, man. I think I had a show, an hour 45 minutes. So like, share, subscribe. Y'all hit y'all replay. Please leave a comment or whatever. I appreciate it. Y'all have a nice night. Take care.